The Senate, an ideally hallowed house of repute, is supposed to represent the highest standards of leadership, maturity, and national dignity. And the senators, the carriers of the sacrosanct honor.
Constitution, under Article 53.
But for Senator Karen Nyamu, a different story has been told, and more than once. The latest scandal was on March 25th, 2026. A day meant to inspire young Kenyans turned into a national conversation on shame, leadership and accountability after Nyamu made unbecoming remarks in regard to a grade 10 pupil visiting Parliament, comments many Kenyans considered inappropriate, humiliating and reckless.
I saw Senator Cherargei getting very excited when she saw a lady. Yeah, it's good to clarify it.
The senator, days later, was at pains to apologize for the embarrassment she served the nation at the expense of a minor.
Madam Speaker, I will also go ahead to say that I was highly misunderstood.
Senator Karen,
very surprised.
I think, Senator Karen, just leave it at that.
Just like the crass remarks, the said apology has rubbed people the wrong way. The former president of the Law Society of Kenya, Faith Odhiambo, said, and I quote, "I call upon the Senate to go beyond accepting the theatrical apology and take concrete accountability measures." Senator Karen Nyamu still sought to justify her conduct even while purporting to apologize. An apology that is read and accepted in minutes is not justice. If we are serious about protecting the girl child, then our institutions must reflect that seriousness. And that speaks to the heart of the matter. People's Liberation Party leader Martha Karua has also weighed in sharply, saying, as a mother, a former parliamentarian, and a woman who has spent decades fighting for the dignity and inclusion of women and girls in public life, I know this is not the leadership we envisioned or struggled for. Karua adds that public office is a privilege. Those who hold it must carry themselves with the dignity the people deserve. Former nominated Senator Millicent Omanga, once Nyamu's ally, also appeared uncomfortable, stating the Senate should be a place that inspires young people, especially girls, to believe in leadership and public service. We must condemn any conduct that undermines their dignity and safety. As women leaders, we must lead with responsibility, respect, and wisdom. This is, however, not a first for the senator. It is a cog in the wheel of shameful actions, seemingly rolling in some sort of free fall. In December 2022, Nyamu was summoned before the UDA Disciplinary Committee following a chaotic public altercation in Dubai involving Mugithi musician Samido, an incident that triggered the very initial calls for her expulsion. Then in February 2023,
as per Senator Nyamu,
she was ejected from the Senate chambers after violating parliamentary dress code rules by appearing in attire deemed inappropriate for the House. In early 2024, fresh criticism emerged after videos surfaced allegedly showing the senator driving on the wrong side of the road, an incident critics said reflected recklessness, impunity, and disregard for traffic rules. About a year later, in April 2025, just when the dust appeared to have settled, Nyamu struck again, sparking backlash after she was recorded making an obscene hand gesture, followed by remarks on how in 2027 her camp will aggressively confront the restive Mount Kenya region. Months later, in September 2025, Senate Speaker Amason Kingi once again reprimanded Nyamu over dressing considered improper and disrespectful to the dignity of the House.
Senator Karen Nyamu, I will give you a warning.
It is against this backdrop that constitutional questions are taking center stage on the conduct of Nyamu, who is also a lawyer. Chapter 6 of the Kenyan Constitution demands integrity, discipline and honor from state officers. Article 73, Subarticle 1 states, and I quote, "Authority assigned to a state officer is a public trust to be exercised in a manner that is consistent with the purposes and objects of this Constitution, demonstrates respect for the people, brings honor to the nation and dignity to the office, and promotes public confidence in the integrity of the office." On children's rights, Article 53 of the Constitution is equally direct, stating, "Every child has the right to be protected from abuse, neglect, harmful cultural practices, all forms of violence, inhuman treatment and punishment, and hazardous or exploitative labor." But Nyamu has gotten away with many incidents that demean the integrity and influence of the office she holds and possibly embolden her to keep at it. Her latest incident has not stopped her from her seeming bad taste cheekiness, as she just today was not relenting.
Na mnanijua kwa uzuri ama kwa ubaya? Na kwa ubaya kidogo? Akakosangi, si ndio? Kaubaya kidogo tu, kwa umbali tu, mbali uko kino, sio karibu.
And a key factor here is the institutional handling of such matters. The National Gender and Equality Commission, NGEC, said in a statement that, while the Commission acknowledges the apology issued on the floor of the Senate, it reiterates that safeguarding children requires more than procedural compliance. Public institutions must strengthen accountability measures, reinforce ethical leadership standards, and cultivate institutional cultures that promote respectful engagement with children and youth. Will the Senate do any more? Attention is also on the ruling UDA party itself, which nominated Nyamu to the Senate. Unlike previous controversies, where disciplinary threats were issued loudly and publicly, this time round, the party has largely remained silent so far. Eyes are on the William Ruto-led UDA party and the disciplinary structures overseen by party chairperson Cecily Mbarire on whether decisive action will finally be taken against the controversial senator, now earned the Nairobi woman representative seat. And will Karen Nyamu walk to treat Kenyans to another episode of an assault to publicly acceptable morals as prescribed in law? Is she above the law or above repercussions?
And now the question on the minds of many Kenyans is, at what point does repeated controversy stop being political drama and become disqualification from leadership itself? David Muthoka, NTV, Nairobi.